Beres Hammond's smooth voice hides a dark secret. The night armed invaders tied him up and left him for dead. This is the untold story no fan saw coming. Stick around at 3:15 when we reveal the shocking truth about his escape. You'll never hear "Tempted to Touch the Same Way Again" after this. Beres Hammond. Born Hugh Beresford Hammond on August 28, 1955, in the tranquil but richly musical town of Untold Bay, St. Mary, Jamaica, was not meant for obscurity. He was the ninth of 10 children in a house constantly vibrating with the vinyl hum of Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, and the soul-heavy rhythms of American jazz. His father's collection of timeless voices was a portal into a realm where emotion lived in every note. And it was in this world of melody and melancholy that young Beres quietly trained his soul. Even before he held a microphone, he was already absorbing the sounds that would become his language. His country, Jamaica, was at a musical crossroads in the 1960s and 70s, where ska bled into rocksteady and reggae was king. And Beres Hammond, with his soft, crooning voice, carried the weight of all three genres, like a prophet born with song in his veins. It all began in earnest between 1972 and 1973, when he started entering talent contests. There, the boy from St. Mary started morphing into the legend the world would come to know. His first studio moment was a cover of Alton Ellis' "Wander," and homage to the man whose sound he revered. By 1975, he was the voice of Zap Powell, a band that shot to stardom with their 1978 hit "The System." And suddenly, Beres Hammond wasn't just singing. He was preaching, testifying, laying the foundation for a solo legacy that would stretch across generations. In 1976, the album Soul Reggae marked his true emergence as a solo force. It was raw, tender, and drenched in pain and hope. One Step Ahead became an anthem of longing. In 1978, he recorded "I'm in Love" under Joe Gibb production, and the ballad shimmered with soul, etching his name deeper into Jamaica's collective heart. His voice was becoming the voice of every man who ever loved too hard, lost too deeply, or hoped too long. But success did not come without its trials. In 1979, Hammond took a bold step. He left the safety of Zap Powell to chase an uncompromised vision. His 1980 release, Let's Make a Song, and the follow-up Red Light in 1981 were further declarations of independence. That same year, he formed Tuesday's Children, a harmony group that never released a record but toured relentlessly, becoming sonic missionaries for the cause of conscious music. Even in failure, Hammond's steps were sacred, his journey urgent. Then came 1985. This was more than a career milestone. This was the year Hammond birthed Harmony House, a record label with his DNA in its every groove. It became a vessel for his truth, a sanctuary for sound. With it came his hit songs, Groovy Little Thing, and What One Dance Can Do, the latter produced by the brilliant Willie Lindo. These songs turned parties into sermons, lovers rock into scripture. Jamaica listened, the diaspora followed. A star was becoming a deity. But the glow of fame could not shield him from darkness. In 1987, the unimaginable happened. Armed intruders stormed Beres Hammond home. They tied him up, ransacked his belongings, stripped away every illusion of safety. "What did I do to deserve this?" he would ask, voice shaken by confusion more than fear. The answer didn't come swiftly. It came like a whisper in the rubble. He hadn't done anything wrong. But Jamaica was changing. Blood ran too freely. That same year, Aston Barrett's father was found dead in the bush. Colton Barrett and Peter Tosh were eliminated too. The island was bleeding, and so Hammond did what many dreamers do when home becomes a battlefield. He fled. New York City embraced him like an old lover. Cold, bright, relentless. It was the perfect backdrop for reflection. There, he recorded "Have a Nice Weekend," and in a stirring collaboration with Maxi Priest, he released "How Can We Ease the Pain?" It wasn't just a duet. It was a requiem, a question to the world, a message from a man who had survived betrayal by the very soil that raised him. Yet pain never eliminated his purpose. When Hammond returned to Jamaica in the early 90s, he didn't come back the same man. He came back sharper, scarred, more fire than flesh. He recorded "Putting Up Resistance," a thunderous departure from his usual softness. Produced by Tapper Zuki, it declared war on injustice. The album, like its creator, refused to beg for peace. It stood firm. Tracks like Strange cut through the air like warnings. He wasn't just a singer now. He was a survivor bearing witness. Then came 1990, the turning point. Penthouse Records extended a hand, and Beres Hammond gripped it with purpose. Donovan Germain, the man behind the boards, produced Tempted to Touch. It was sultry, electric, and absolutely unforgettable. In America and the UK, it became a beacon, the song that introduced him to millions who never knew they needed Beres Hammond. But now they couldn't imagine life without him. That same creative wave carried hits like Is This a Sign and Respect to You Baby into the album A Love Affair. Hammond was no longer fighting to be heard. The world was listening now. 1992 brought a bombshell, the single Fire. Not just a track, a pulse. It coursed through sound systems, vinyl presses, and every sweaty dance hall in the Caribbean. Collectors hunted for it. Fans worshipped it. Record executives took notice. Elektra Records came calling, and suddenly, the underground scene had a seat at the major label table. The 90s belonged to Beres Hammond. He released 5 more albums, countless compilations, and without gimmicks, without glitter, he remained at the top. Then came 2001, a new century, a new declaration. Music is Life hit the airwaves like a sacred text. Collaborating with Wyclef Jean, Earl Chinna Smith, and Flurgan, Hammond tore down borders. They're Gonna Talk, Rock.A, and Ain't It Good to Know became modern hymns. He wasn't reinventing himself. He was just proving that true soul never expires. In 2004, Love Has No Boundaries told the world what his heart already knew. Love had always been his weapon, his melody, his protest. Featuring Buju Banton and Big Youth, the album reaffirmed his position, not just as a romantic crooner, but as a guy out of the Caribbean, telling truths too big for silence. The story didn't stop there. In 2008, he gave the world a moment in time. The standout single, I Feel Good, wasn't just a love song. It was a survival chant, a song of gratitude after decades of chaos and triumph. And then in 2012, he dropped One Love, One Life. The album did more than chart. It healed. It topped the Billboard Reggae Albums list, a signal to everyone watching that Beres Hammond had not faded. He had ascended. In 2013, his contributions were carved into the flesh of his homeland. The Jamaican government awarded him the Order Jamaica, not just for his songs, but for his soul. In January 2014, One Love, One Life earned a Grammy nomination, recognition from the world's biggest stage. But even that felt smaller than the man himself. On August 20th, 2023, the Jamaica Museum and Cultural Center in Atlanta, Georgia, crowned his career with a celebration befitting royalty, an award in his honor, a legacy preserved, a nation's son made immortal. Beres Hammond's story is not merely one of a man who sings. It is the journey of a man who survived poverty, betrayal, violence, and exile, only to return stronger, wiser, and more beloved. His voice, once a whisper in the halls of Untold Bay, now echoes through time. A reminder that love, when sung in truth, can never be silenced. Did you already know the full story behind that terrifying night in 1987? Which part of Beres Hammond's journey gave you a deeper appreciation for his music? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Share your favorite Beres Hammond track and what it means to you. And if you want more powerful stories from reggae's hidden history, hit that subscribe button.